tonight we are doing session number 7 of our 8-part series. Our series is the renovation timeline from start to finish. The reason I did this series is because I'm often asked, where do I start? Like, people have no idea of where to start on their renovation projects. It's really important that everything layers out so that there's consistency and so that you can order your product in advance, so it's smooth sailing for you and for the builders. So tonight's session is all about finish with finesse. Finish with finesse. So what I mean by that is styling your property so it sells for more, hopefully, fingers crossed, but it also sells faster. You are going to make your real estate agent's job a dream if you present your property market ready. You are giving yourself the very, very best chance of making significant funds and making profit and really stretching that profit margin that you hear me talking about so often, if that property is beautifully styled for sale. So first impressions matter. That's the first point, is you've got to get people from their cars into the property. You've got to get people from online to come and visit your property, both of those things. So let's talk about drawing people in from the outside. You need to make them want to see more when they're sitting in their car or doing a drive-by when your for sale sign is out the front. They need to want to see more. And they won't want to see more if the outside is scruffy, even though you go, okay, I didn't really do outside, but I presented the property really beautifully inside. How will people know? Unless they trust enough or they've picked up certain photographs from the internet that actually get them over the hurdle. But that is a big hurdle. If outside is ugly and it's uncared for, that is a big hurdle. You need to kind of make sure that that doesn't happen, make sure that objection is taken away by creating a really immediate positive impression on the potential buyers. So your paths, your driveways, your gardens, a beautifully styled front veranda, boom, that's all it takes really. You'll draw them from outside to inside. Once they're inside, then good styling will take them on a lovely, lovely journey from room to room, each one beautifully connected to the other. So that's the goal, right? Get them in. The second point is you're styling to highlight the potential use of every space. Understand that people don't know your property as well as you do, and they mightn't be able to guess. Never, ever, ever sell a property empty, like under no circumstances. Sell a property empty. I don't care if it's a deceased estate. I don't care if there's no furniture in it for some particular reason. Never sell a property empty. It makes people feel cold and confused. Cold and confused people don't want to fight for that property and pay more. So you styling to highlight the potential use of every space. Staging helps and styling helps buyers envision how they can use the space. They get to see its full potential. They get to feel its full potential. And some people have no idea. You must help them along. Once you help them along enough and beautiful styling makes them really connect to a space, they start to picture their family living there, and that is a fantastic thing. If they start to picture their kids at the computer or at the study desk or sitting around the kitchen table or themselves entertaining in that space, you've won them over. Use styling as diversionary tactics. Legal diversionary tactics. Styling is a legal diversionary tactic. So what I mean is you can take somebody's eye off the not so perfect. If you've done a renovation and it's not so crash hot, take someone's eye from those little imperfections with good styling. For example, tiles that you can see from a doorway aren't in alignment. They might be crooked. They mightn't meet up very well. The grout might be too wide in one particular part. Style, guys, cover it over. Mats, pots, anything to take the eye line off those tiles. So you can use styling as a diversionary tactic. It's obviously best to do really good, high quality renovation work, but sometimes you've got what you're given. A house is not so perfect. The walls might be out of alignment and you have to do your best with what you have. So, use styling to kind of mask some of those things. Use styling to carry someone's eye perhaps up or to another space to take their eye off whatever's imperfect as well. So, if your floor's not so great, then have some beautiful artwork on the wall. So people's eyes are kind of heading to that one big wow factor as they walk through the door, and they're not noticing everything else because they're so swept away by the feels that they're feeling. Small spaces can be made feel larger by good styling. Large spaces can be made feel more cozy, more functional, and people can understand how a room is going to perform if everything's placed really, really nicely in a large space. So your idea of styling is to warm things up, to create useful spaces, and to connect the buyer's emotions. There are so many options, guys. Use mirrors to reflect light around small, kind of stuffy feeling rooms. A skylight will just open up the feel of a small space, particularly if it doesn't have a window, if it's an internal room. Bounce light around the room, use light, use mirrors, use artwork, so many options, use cushions to add colours and feel. So that's key, guys. Create an emotional connection to give your property the best chance to sell for more. So staging evokes emotions and helps buyers connect with the property on a real personal level. They will connect on their own personal level, like pull all of your family stuff and your family feel out of that home and present it to somebody else so that they can connect to it. Create spaces or usable rooms out of nothing little spaces. So maximize the use of space. What I mean by that is, say you don't have an allocated study room in your property. It's really clever, or a clever idea. If there's some quiet corner or if there's a little bit of a nook somewhere, you can actually create a study by placing a really good desk there and a couple of shelves. You can kind of tick that box in the buyer's mind when they walk through a property with good styling. You can give a bedroom dual use. It can be a study and a bedroom. You could create a functional space out of a nothing corner. You can create that feeling like people can use it as, say, a bedroom as a bedroom or as an extra TV room. Like, you get to play around with your buyers' minds by placing property cleverly in each room. Give it plenty of thought before you start. Create warmth with popular neutral appeal. So I think that's key. If you're going to have splashes of colour everywhere, it's going to hurt you when it comes to the point of sale. Layers and layers and textures and lots of neutrals will always present best, and they appeal to the mass market, and you can create a lot of warmth even through whites and creams and beiges and grey beiges and all those things. You can create warmth through having layers of neutral. You can add a pop of colour here and there. You can give your property a really nice personal style, but without polarizing the market. You do not want to polarize buyers. You want everyone to walk in there and go, okay, this is fantastic. You can set a really nice upmarket vibe through presenting your property really well, and opulence sells for more money. Whatever you do, don't go down that pathway of scruffy secondhand furniture, that old shabby chic style, or too industrial. It's too rustic, guys. Rustic won't sell for as much money as a place that gives people an opulent feel. So don't go too rustic. So get the competitive edge too. Good styling will give you the competitive edge. Beautifully presented photos and a well-staged home will make your property stand out in amongst all of the properties online. Guys, the bar's been lifted. I say it all the time, even in, I'll say, middle to low demographic areas. You will notice now that properties are being styled for sale and they stand out amongst their peers. And it's really important that that property be yours. You will attract a higher price and you will get very, very competitive in a competitive market. And if things are slow, say if it's, it's a bit slow to sell property in a particular area, then you're going to give yourself the best chance if your property is styled. So you know what I always say, a property will draw people in with the eye. So styling will help do that. But you'll sell for more if you create all of the feels. If you get a couple of emotional buyers fighting for your property, not so much a developer or an investor who just is, got their eye on the numbers, but you can really, really tweak the emotion in a buyer or a couple of buyers, you will sell your property for more all day long. Styling is king. Never, ever sell a property without it, or I'll come find you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.